Part 1. The truth about female pleasure is Stoic Glow style, they say. Most men grow old before they ever learn how to truly touch a woman's soul. We chase success, wealth, and control, yet remain blind to the emotional language of connection. Today, let's slow down and learn something. No school, no movie, no advice video ever teaches what female pleasure truly means, and what it reveals about our inner calm, presence, and strength. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself. Marcus Aurelius, most men never realize that pleasure isn't an act. It's an exchange of energy. It's not about performance, but awareness. A woman doesn't open because of what you do. She opens because of who you are in that moment. Your steadiness, patience, and ability to make her feel safe in your silence. Imagine tuning an old radio, one gentle movement, and the static fades. That's how connection works. Not through effort, but through sensitivity. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca, when a man stops rushing to achieve and starts listening to her breath, her rhythm, he discovers something profound. Pleasure is not a goal. It's a mirror reflecting how deeply two souls can trust each other. Modern research describes 4 stages of arousal: excitement, plateau, climax, resolution. But beyond biology lies presence. Each heartbeat and breath is a message. I'm safe. I'm seen. When she feels that her body naturally responds, no tricks, just harmony. Think of an artist painting in silence. Every stroke carries emotion. That's how intimacy unfolds, patiently, respectfully, attentively. In that stillness, two people stop performing and start being. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus, control yourself, your impatience, your ego, and her body aligns with your calm. After the high fades, most men roll away, thinking the act is done. But for her, that's when emotional safety begins. If you hold her, breathe with her, stay grounded, you show her that what happened wasn't lust, but connection. Real strength isn't in how long you last. It's in how deeply you stay. Understanding female pleasure isn't about anatomy. It's about empathy. When a man learns to be still, gentle, and observant, he doesn't just satisfy a woman. He awakens the part of himself capable of loving without control and touching without fear. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius, slow down, breathe, be present. Real connection doesn't happen through motion. It happens through meaning. Part 2. Surface-level pleasure response, Stoic Glow style. Most men believe pleasure comes from force or speed. They think intensity equals passion. But true connection, just like wisdom, starts with patience. What she feels is not only in her body, it's in her mind. A calm presence can awaken more than any technique ever will. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Marcus Aurelius, the surface level of pleasure, the one most familiar, begins not with touch, but with attention. There's a small area, highly sensitive, delicate, alive, with thousands of nerve endings. Yet, it's not a button to press. It's a rhythm to understand. Like tuning a guitar, one gentle movement can change the entire harmony. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." The same courage applies here. The bravery to slow down, to listen, to let her body guide the pace. You can't rush something sacred. You can only join it. Imagine a moment of connection where her breath deepens and her eyes soften. She's not reacting to pressure. She's responding to presence. Every slow movement says you are safe. You are seen. That's what awakens trust. To stand through trust, desire unfolds naturally. Epictetus taught no great thing is created suddenly. Pleasure is no different. It's not performance. It's harmony between two souls. When a man learns to sense her rhythm, to pause when she exhales, to move when she leans in, he discovers that connection is not about control, but surrender. So take your time. The smallest touch, when filled with meaning, can speak louder than any word. When you act from calm intention, she feels your steadiness, not your need. That's when both hearts begin to align, quietly, beautifully, without force. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Part 3. Deep internal pleasure response. Stoic glow, style true depth. Isn't found on the surface, it's discovered when both hearts are unguarded. Many men never learn that the deepest pleasure a woman feels begins not in her body, but in her trust. It's the kind of connection that grows only when you move slowly, speak gently, and listen more than you act. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Marcus Aurelius, inside every woman's body lies a zone of sensitivity few men ever understand. It's not a spot to conquer, but a space to respect. When approached with patience, it responds like calm water stirred by a gentle wind, soft, natural, effortless. The more presence you bring, the more she opens. But if you rush or push, the body closes. The mind withdraws. That's why awareness matters more than technique. Seneca once said, "To be calm is the highest achievement of the self." When you learn to stay calm, to notice her breathing, her subtle movements, you begin to understand that pleasure isn't something you give, it's something you share. It's not about finding the exact place. It's about creating the exact feeling. Epictetus taught, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. So be the man who moves with intention, not hunger. Be curious, not forceful. When your presence says, "I'm here and I'm listening," she'll feel that deeper than any touch. In real life, the same principle applies. When two people trust each other completely, every word, every glance, every pause feels alive. That's what this deep response is, a reflection of connection, not just stimulation. The goal isn't reaction, it's resonance. When you approach her with humility and calm confidence, she senses your steadiness. And in that steadiness, her body naturally follows. No force, no chase, just presence. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Part 4. Indirect backzone pleasure response, Stoic glow style. There are places the world rarely talks about: quiet. Hidden zones that hold powerful energy. In the same way that silence can speak louder than words, these areas reveal connection only through trust. The pleasure that comes from them isn't wild or chaotic. It's deep, slow, and sacred. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius, the backzone, often misunderstood, is connected not just to the body, but to the nervous system of emotion. It demands patience, awareness, and most importantly, consent. When trust is complete, the body relaxes. The mind follows. But if there's even a trace of fear, everything tightens, and the moment disappears. Seneca once wrote, "No man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by prosperity." The same applies here. Pleasure fades when ego takes over. If your goal is to achieve, you lose the essence of presence. But when your focus is care and connection, her body responds naturally, without resistance. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Approaching these sensitive areas requires calm reaction, not forceful intention. Start slow, stay grounded, and observe not for performance, but for harmony. Even a simple touch, when filled with safety, can awaken deep emotion. Imagine two people completely present, breathing in rhythm, no rush, no words. That stillness creates trust, and in trust, her nervous system softens. She feels seen, not used, desired, not demanded. And in that safe space, new sensations arise, not from stimulation, but from surrender. Real connection is not about exploring every part of her body. It's about allowing both of you to feel completely at ease wherever the journey goes. When you treat her with patience and empathy, she doesn't just open physically, she opens emotionally. And that's what transforms touch into connection and desire into devotion. Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water. Marcus Aurelius. Part 5. Full body sensory response, Stoic glow style. Most powerful sensations are not always born from touch. They emerge from presence. A woman can feel seen without a single word and desired without a single move. When emotion and intention align, even the smallest gesture becomes a storm of connection. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself. Marcus Aurelius, the chest, the heart's guardian, is one of the most overlooked centers of female pleasure. Science shows it connects directly to the same brain region that processes intimacy and arousal. But beyond biology, it carries something deeper: emotional trust. When you touch her there with warmth and focus, her body doesn't just react, it remembers that it's safe to feel. Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." Touch her not to provoke, but to comfort. Let your hands say what words cannot. You're valued, you're safe, you're loved. When she feels that, her breath slows, her heart opens, and energy flows freely through her entire body. Epictetus once taught, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Many men assume pleasure must be physical or intense, but when the connection is emotional, even gentle contact, like a hand tracing the shoulder or a breath against the neck, can awaken sensations far deeper than any technique ever could. Imagine a quiet night. No distractions, no rush. Just a people breathing in sync, sharing warmth, holding space for one another. That's where intimacy begins, not in motion, but in stillness. In that calm, her body responds not to stimulation, but to sincerity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts are calm, your touch will be calm. If your mind is gentle, your presence will be healing. When a woman feels that peace radiating from you, her entire body listens and answers. So remember, the chest is not merely a place of desire, it's a bridge to her heart. Touch with intention, speak with silence, and connect through patience. In that quiet energy, she will feel what words can never explain. Part 6, Blended Pleasure Response, Stoic Glow, Stylesome. Of the most powerful experiences in intimacy are not born from one single touch, but from harmony, the blending of two sensations moving as one. It's not about doing more, it's about being fully present in what already is. Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you will always look. Marcus Aurelius, a blended response happens when two areas, one external and one internal, are touched together in rhythm. Science explains it through overlapping neural signals, but in truth, it's a dance between awareness and surrender. When her breath breaks, when her body trembles, not from surprise, but from trust, you've reached the depth beyond technique. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." It takes bravery to slow down, to hold back the desire to rush or perform. Because connection isn't made through speed, it's made through patience. When you can listen to her body's rhythm as if it were your own heartbeat, you realize intimacy is not two bodies trying to please each other, it's two souls breathing in unison. Epictetus taught, "We have two ears and one mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Listening in this context means sensing her without words, feeling the pauses, the stillness, the rise and fall of emotion. Each movement is a message. Each silence is a sign. The body will always tell you when it feels seen. Imagine two waves meeting in the ocean, not colliding, but merging. That's how blended connection feels. It's not control. It's cooperation. Not dominance, but awareness. When she feels that you are fully there, her body doesn't resist, it trusts, it releases, it flows. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That's the secret. When your mind is calm, her heart feels safe. When you move with purpose instead of pressure, you both experience something larger than physical pleasure, spiritual unity. The blended response is not about intensity. It's about balance. When touch, emotion, and presence align, do people stop existing as separate? They dissolve into the moment, breathing together in peace. And that is the true definition of connection, the art of feeling without the need to control. Part 7, Full Body Release and Closing Reflections, Stoic Glow Style there. Are moments when emotion and trust meet so deeply that the body releases what words cannot express. It's not something you plan or chase, it's something that happens when two souls reach complete safety. A full-body release isn't just physical. It's emotional liberation, the body's way of saying, I'm free. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. Yeah, Marcus Aurelius. When deep connection and presence align, the body may respond with tears, trembling, or even a release of energy so strong it feels electric. It's not about performance or control, it's about surrender. When a woman feels seen, loved, and unjudged, her emotions flow as naturally as water finding its way to the sea. Your calm reaction, your silence, your acceptance, that's what tells her she's safe. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Many men fear these moments or misinterpret them, trying to analyze or control. But the Stoic man stays grounded. He understands that vulnerability isn't weakness. It's truth revealing itself through the body. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." The same applies to emotional trust. It's built through patience, steady rhythm, and respect. If you move slowly and stay aware, you'll notice her subtle signs: faster breathing, quiet tremors, or the soft stillness that follows release. That stillness is sacred. Don't rush it. Just stay. Imagine holding her hand, her heartbeat calming under your touch. You say nothing, but your presence says everything. That's the art of connection, not demanding, not forcing, just being. Marcus Aurelius taught, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When your thoughts are peaceful, your energy is peaceful. And that peace becomes the foundation of every meaningful connection. The truth is, understanding a woman's pleasure isn't about learning 6 techniques. It's about learning 6 forms of awareness. Each response is a reflection of emotional safety, not just physical touch. When you learn to listen, to breathe, to move without expectation, you don't just awaken her body, you awaken her trust. So don't chase intensity, cultivate presence. Don't aim to impress. Aim to connect. Because in the end, the deepest pleasure isn't what happens in the body. It's what happens between two hearts that finally feel at home. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius.